All right, now it should be working. All right, that was weird. My mic wasn't detected by OBS. I was like, what the hell is that? Why isn't it picking up? Nose itches. All right, good. Should be a fun little stream tonight. Of course, it's the news stream. Mahomes wants to play till he's 45 like Brady. Who got into the car crash? What's up, Ape? Dun, 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 dun. Just got to get through some ads. Yeah, we're doing good on the likes. If you haven't left a like, consider doing so. Helps the stream out, gets it performing a little better. You know the drill. You just realized the Bengals got their first win in 2019 versus the Jets in 2022 Bengals. Yeah, I mean, it's a cyclical thing, football. Jets are an easy team to beat, usually. Eesh, my nose itches. Interesting stat, though. How's everybody doing? Hopefully quite well. If you live in Florida, hopefully you're, I don't really know how you're on the internet, but, I mean, thanks for tuning in. Probably better uses of your resources, but... Fucking... Been an interesting couple days for injuries, I would have to say, with Joey Bosa, Rashawn Slater going down with injuries. Mac Jones is down. Trent Williams is down. I'm probably missing a number of players. Tua's on the injured list. He could still probably play. He probably will. Zach Wilson's good. Like, there's just a lot of injury news, I would say, this week that we can discuss, go over, how long we think people are going to be out for. You have the Jags in an upset this week. Might be a little crazy. What's up, James? I appreciate the like. Helps the stream out. But yeah, it's been quite the week. Last couple days. A lot of players going down with injuries early in the season. A couple guys coming back. Of course, we see Zach Wilson at the bottom of the screen to my left here. I think that's my left, right? My right? But I think it's screen left. I don't know how it works. It's always backwards in a different direction or some shit. I don't know. Okay, so the Vikings will be the contingency site for the Bucks and the Vikings should the hurricane stuff be all wonked out down in Florida still. Have you guys seen any of the coverage on that while we wait a couple minutes to let people like fill in and we get started? Florida's looking pretty rough. That what is it? Hurricane Ian ripping through the southern state there. Heard it died out a little bit, so that's always good, but it's still a massive storm. What are you about to say, Karam? Go Cowboys? Yeah, I have a pretty good eye for not doing certain games. I might utilize that more this season. If there's a bad primetime game, I might just not cover it. You know, just because it'll keep things kind of fresh. Jags are winning the South. Yeah, that's a pretty week 3 statement to make. Did you think that the Panthers were going to win the NFC South a couple years ago when they started 3-0? There's a small question on that one. I mean, you could have. I mean, it's completely possible. But hold on, I'm gonna go like blow my nose in a second. One sec. All right, much better. Last time the Jags were good was 2017, and we lost to them in the wild card. I think a lot of teams lost to the Jaguars in the wild card that year. Or, well, not in the wild card, but in the playoffs outside of the Patriots. Jags had a nice little run there with Duval, Saxonville. It was quite the little run, but then they quickly fell apart. It was quite the collapse. Yeah, cool, but they're still not winning that division. That would be so what's it called? Overreaction? Like you really think they're going to sustain this at this pace? Be able to keep up this level of play? Probably the Colts, the team that just beat the Chiefs, and will probably be like more what we've seen versus the Chiefs than with like an improved offense. Yeah, the team that just beat the Chiefs. Yeah, probably them or the Titans will win the South. I mean, dude, I don't know why you're doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? Well, they started 2-1. They're winning the division. So I guess the Giants are winning the NFC East. Or is it the Cowboys? Is everything already set in stone to you? Like anyone who's leading the division after 3 weeks in the season automatically wins the division? Is that your kind of like set standard for how this plays out? I'm curious to see where this plays. Like, well, why do you think that the Jaguars are going to win the division after 3 weeks of play? Like, what grand evidence or good evidence is there that the Colts won't get up to form once they, get the receivers back? Because all signs point to the Colts having like a top tier defense. They just, you need people to throw the football to, unfortunately, at this level. As Giselle put it once when she was defending Tom Brady, he can't throw the ball and catch it. You can't do both. So I don't know. Again, the Jags are improved, but to say they'll win that division is one of the craziest overreactions at this point in the season I think I've seen it yet. Because again, as funny as it is that they beat the Chargers, they did that's kind of a flawed win. Jags Chiefs blowout. Yeah, probably. Well, hell, if the fucking dipshits would have played, what's his name, Chase Daniel, they probably beat the Jaguars pretty comfortably in that game. Yeah, you even like presupposed it with like, this is a crazy take, and now you're out here defending it with like no, like they're just going, it's just, we'll see. Like that's, I don't know, even know how to respond to that. I guess you win. Do you not respond to like anything? Do you just kind of like say like we'll see? I guess that's one way to handle things. Kind of anticlimactic. You killed the whole stream with your boring bullshit about the Jaguars, and now you won't even talk to me about it. You're just like, well, we'll see. Well, that's cool. This was a stupid conversation. Then why'd you even bring it up if you weren't willing to defend it? What's up, Jacob? Now he's just not going to say anything. Hey, some of you guys suck. I hate when people do shit like that. It's so boring. It's like, oh, well, thanks for killing the stream with that. That was very insightful. Anyway, why are you nervous for Sunday? Who do you guys play? The Jets? Oh, why? Are you one of them idiots that still think the Jets are like a good football team or something? What's up, Mike? That like think that like that comeback win versus the fucking Browns means actually anything? Are you one of them people? Should? No, it's not even a should. The Jets are an easy game. Yeah, why are you nervous then? There is no reason to be nervous for the Jets. They are a shit football team. I don't really get it. I'm still very confused as to why everybody thinks the Jets are like this secret sleeper team. Because it's really weird. It's like everyone's like, dude, did you see that comeback win? Yeah, that's called a fluke win, you idiot. How'd they look the next week? Oh, they lost fucking 27-12. Yeah, I wonder what team they really are. How'd they look in week 1? Oh, they lost 24-8. Oh, well, I mean, wonder what the fuck that is. Wonder which one's the fluke, you know? No, but they haven't played Wilson. I don't care. A guy who sucked last year, who showed no promise whatsoever. Whoa, crazy. I don't know. I'm very weirded out by people's reactions to teams like the Jets and getting like one singular win on a fluke. Like, yeah, but they got they got that one rookie corner. Yeah, okay, just don't throw at him. Problem solved. They don't got anybody else out there. Gotta remember, this is a Jets team that's like probably 2-3 years away from actually being a threat from doing anything. If they continue to build in a good direction, which, probably won't, because they'll get upset that they haven't won the Super Bowl by next year, and they'll blow this whole team up. See, I know how these Jets operate, and within 3 years of like putting together a team, if they don't win the Super Bowl, they blow it all up. They have no patience, no ability to wait whatsoever. Like for a lot of their teams, if you look at them, it's like, man, if they would have just waited like 3 more years and continued to build on this could have been like a really good football team. But no, they'll blow the whole shits up in like 3-4 years inside of like, whenever they make the big moves, if they don't fucking win within like 3-4 years, they're just done with it. I wouldn't play the Steelers defense this week because I don't know if they have TJ Watt back yet. I still think he's questionable or still not quite on the mends. But yes, anyway, we can start with a little bit of news right now, I would say. I would say that, again, the biggest stories of this, of this week would be the number of players who are going on to IR or having like pretty long, like, multi-week injuries. You can start with Trent Williams and Mac Jones. Both of those guys sustained high ankle sprains. I think Trent's was a little less severe than Mac's was. I don't really know how severe Trent's turned out, but I know Max was like in the pretty great. It was near grade 3. So his was pretty bad, pretty severe, and he's like on the tight. He's like 50-50 on needing to get tightrope, which, I mean, that's a pretty quick recovery time. It could be anywhere between 3 to whatever weeks. But again, he's responding very quickly, like recovering quickly. So like they're like, well, we'd say he's questionable for Sunday, which is Patriots code talk for he's probably not playing, because they already announced Brian Hoyer will start. So that's usually pretty clear sign that Hoyer will be starting versus the Packers. So congrats again, Packers, on your free W, probably. Yeah, I've seen that. The NFL media is all butthurt with Bill because they're like, oh, we get it, dude. You don't talk. You don't. It's like, yeah, we don't. The team doesn't talk injuries. What's so bad about that? It's almost like people just like refuse to accept certain things about Bill Belichick won't change. And especially like talking about injuries is never going to be one of the things he does. It's just like, why would he do that? He doesn't have to do, like, you would think like the media people that continuously have covered this team after 20 years would just be like, yeah, I'm probably just not going to ask those questions. Again, like whenever one of the media people don't ask about the weird shit that he doesn't ever answer questions about, he gives them very good answers. If you ask about like strategies for the upcoming game, who are like players that you might be looking out to cover, like who's going to be like, who are you guys going to focus your game plan around, if you don't mind sharing. Like he'll actually give you like X's and O's and like philosophies for the week coming up. All sorts of good shit, but it's just like the media is so stupidly focused on the wrong things. Like, dude, you guys are talking to one of the greatest like strategists in football probably ever, and you're asking him questions about injuries. It's like, why are you doing that? Why aren't you asking about the like game plans and cool shit like that? Yep, exactly, Mike. Yeah, he has to be a dick. It's like, why don't you guys actually ask about like the game coming up? Jesus Christ. Yeah, he breaks plays down and shit. It's just like, guys, that's clearly what he wants to add. He comes out there hoping to be asked questions about like gameplay and shit. And then he said, "With how's Mac's ankle? I don't know. He's questionable or some shit." Like he kept saying he's questionable or some shit. That was hilarious. Yeah, see, here's the news with Trent Williams and Mac both suffering high ankle sprains. His might not even be as bad that he has to miss it any time. Again, high ankle sprains can go one of two ways. They could apparently go like the way Mac Jones did, where he might have to get surgery. Or it's like Trent Williams, where it's just like, goddamn, I'm day to day now. It's this fucking aggravating, very aggressive ankle sprain. Yeah, I wouldn't take that guy seriously. Yeah, I don't think that means anything. If you get injured and you don't seek out a second opinion on the injury, you're probably not a very smart person, or you got exactly the answer you wanted to hear. Oh, I'm perfectly fine. All right, no cancer. Like if you're like given an illness diagnosis of cancer, are you just going with that one diagnosis, or are you going to go somewhere else, make sure, like double check, you know what I mean? This dude's like just giving it up that you could basically fleece him to death if you were his doctor. Listen, you have a rare condition called dipshititis. And he's like, oh. And the doctor's like, listen, you take one of these pills, they're $500 a day. You can cure your dipshititis in about 4 years. And the guy's like, he buys a 4-year supply all at once, and it's just basically Smarties. He's sitting there fucking, he eats one, he's like, ooh, I'm not going to be a dipshititis sufferer anymore. That guy sucks. Anyway, that was a bad joke. Oh, by the way, the Pro Bowl has made a change. I would say this is rather big news. I hope that doesn't ruin my spot where I just was, but it probably does. Oh, it didn't make the screen big. Why didn't it do that? I thought I clicked on it. Oh, okay, I had to do it a few times. Oh. Well, no one cares that it's in Vegas. I think I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, no, it's this is what I was looking for. There we go. The Pro Bowl games presented by Verizon Wireless will be a week-long celebration of player skills featuring an exciting new format that spotlights flag football. The multi-day AFC versus NFC competition will culminate in an action-packed flag football game featuring Pro Bowl players. The Pro Bowl games will also integrate new challenges where players showcase their football and non-football skills in a fun and memorable way. They finally did it. They fixed the Pro Bowl in a great way that I'm watching the Pro Bowl now. This is something I mean, it was already like, just fucking take the actual football out of it, please, and just do this. It's way more watchable because guys will actually give a fuck now because they can't get tackled. And they're going to have like offense and defensive lineman skill like competitions, kicker skill competitions. All of these people will be like the big guys who aren't really, there's no reason for them to even show. It's like, well, what are we supposed to do? I'm fucking blocking without pads on. That's dumb. Can you imagine having to block Myles Garrett with no fucking pads on after he survived a car crash somehow with no damage? Well, barely any damage. Oh, Tracy Walker tore his Achilles tendon, by the way, as well for the Lions. Kind of a devastating injury. Nah, you don't need to go fan control. You don't need to do all that. That's like fucking. That's like some bullshit ass Twitch League stuff. Maybe there could be challenges where a fan gets to like call a few plays or something. And like you win that during the season through like some kind of charitable work. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Myles Garrett was in quite the car accident. I know we're a little late to talk about this, but hey, we get to it when we get to it. Where's that news at? It's pretty far away. But yeah, that's kind of, I would say, one of the bigger stories outside of the people who got injured and, are now facing time on IR, like Rashawn Slater here, like we see. He suffered a bicep injury, and he's probably going to miss the rest of the season. As well as Joey Bosa, who had groin surgery, I think today, or is going to have it very shortly here. And he's probably going to miss a significant chunk of the season as well. So... And there's also news from the Chargers that they're what's up, Kenny? That J.C. Jackson, the corner they signed in the offseason, he's not recovering as quickly or as easily as they would have hoped from that ankle surgery. So, what's my best pick? What do you mean, my best pick? If you haven't left a like, consider doing so. It'll help the stream out quite a bit. Oh, I gotta blow my nose. It's bothering me. There we go. Who are you talking about there? Oh, Slater and Bosa. Yeah, it kind of sucks, dude. There's like way too many injuries right now. Oh, JC. Yeah, I hope he gets over his foot injury. Like, that sucks. The Chargers are in absolute hell right now. Who could have ever predicted such a crazy situation for the Chargers this season? Find that to be very unfortunate. Apparently, though, with DeAndre Swift, he's probably just going to miss this next week, just out of an abundance of caution, and probably the week after, because then I think it goes into their bye week, and they can kind of just give DeAndre like 3 weeks off. And then with Amon-Rah St. Brown, he might be sitting out a couple games as well. But the Lions avoided serious injury to St. Brown and to Swift. If they do miss games, it's out of the team just doing it, because they could probably win a couple of their next games without having to utilize too much of their roster. Yeah, I mean, you think after the guy stabbed or basically popped fucking Tyrod Taylor's lung, they would fucking get rid of him. You know what I mean? When I found out that guy's still the doctor. It's like, wow, they kept that dude. You love that the videos are no script? Yeah, that's how I do my picks video. I use the blue microphone. I think it's a Blue Yeti. Why, does it sound pretty solid? I like this microphone. Once I figured out a couple settings and how to play with it a little bit, it's not bad. Yeah, like what? Why'd they keep that guy? Why is he still the doctor? How is he getting? When I found out he was getting sued, they're like, the Chargers doctor is getting sued. I was like, oh, you mean former doctor? And then I looked, it's like, no, same guy. Oh, nice, Kenny. Hell yeah. Congrats. I'll have to watch it after stream and whatnot. Used OBS to record the stuff. Other than that, I don't really use much else to do anything. I use Shotcut to edit. Yeah, you can pretty much. I just do this by having it up as you could, there's like buttons or like nozzles on the back of this mic that like you can like turn up gain. Well, I have it turned all the way down because I think it sounds kind of bad with gain. And then I turn the volume on this up to a certain point, and then I sit right before red and in the low reds for like where it the audio mixer shows. More often than not, it sits in the yellows, but I don't know. You just gotta play with it. Just turn on put on big ass headphones and fucking just be like, please sound good. Be so completely OCD about it and annoy your audience and be like, well, you guys just tell me if it sounds good. Everyone's like, dude, we've told you 7 times today that this fucking sounds good. Shut the fuck. I can't wait till somebody one time just goes, Rob, you don't play with your settings. Of course, it sounds the exact same as the last time you streamed. Just stop asking. But then again, I appreciate when you guys indulge my OCD, so I don't have to fucking stress about that. So yeah, that sucks for the Lions. They lose Tracy Walker, DeAndre Swift, and amon-rah St. Brown, most likely for the following week. With St. Brown, we don't know how long he's out. Same with Swift. It could be a game or two for each. It's probably going to be a couple games, and then they'll both get the bye week. And then they can just give them like a natural, nice 3 weeks off. Again, the Lions don't have the hardest schedule coming up with the Seahawks this week. I think the Falcons cut after that. It's not very difficult. There's just Monday Night Football news. Again, Rashawn Slater ruptured a biceps tendon. Oof. Yeah, he's gonna make. So yeah, as we talked about, it was a biceps injury for Slater. That's very bad luck. The Chargers' offensive line wasn't exactly the greatest, and it had decent starters with Slater being a star. Right, he's probably one of the better ones in the league, even for left tackles. But the problem was, they have no depth on the offense. If you remember the Chiefs' problem a few years ago when they went to the Super Bowl and why they probably lost that Super Bowl was, they didn't have an offensive line. Or, well, 2 guys got hurt on the line and they lost all depth. They had nobody there waiting to play. They basically were just like, well, we got some guys. And they got beat really bad. I think Mahomes ran around in the backfield for 400 something yards and just fuck around yards. Yeah, Lions play the Patriots. Yeah, we won't be a hard game for anybody. Well, unless we have Mac Jones, then it's going to be a problem. Yep. Injury dooms teams like the Chiefs a couple years ago, but the Chiefs have put pretty good depth in the team now. I think the Chiefs understood they made a fundamental mistake early, but hey, they did win a Super Bowl. So when you sell out for a Super Bowl, I never really question what you do. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why are you questioning them? They did exactly what they needed to do. It's like the Rams. It's like, well, how can we question the way they built their football team? Yeah, it's a bit goofy to not have a future. And as soon as everybody retires or gets hurt, that's ball game. But also, they're fucking set. They got they won. They got the bowl. If you're a fan of a team that isn't the Patriots, winning the Super Bowl once every 20 years is awesome. Hell, there'd be teams that would murder to just have one. You know what I mean? Like, there'd be teams that'd be like, oh, it'd be so cool to just have one. We could rest for the next 50, 60 years with one. We went really long time without it. Yeah, you gotta get a line. It's and you gotta have decent depth, and you gotta build your team correctly, or else you'll just kind of fall apart in a couple years, and you'll never be able to make a dynasty. You'll never be able to build Chiefs. Chiefs lost their chance. Unless the Chiefs win a Super Bowl this year and then next year, I don't think they have a shot at a dynasty right now. I guess if they rattled off 3 in a row, that'd be like the start of a new one. But off that first one, not anymore. I don't think. Feels like it's way too far removed, even though it was 2020, 2021 when they won it. I forgot the exact year. I thought it was up more than 35. Isn't Mahomes' cap hit next year like $54 million if he doesn't restructure, which he'll probably will? I thought next year was the first year where the Chiefs were absolutely fucked on that contract. Might be the year after, but there's a year where they can't move the money anymore like that, because then it starts putting the money at like $80 million towards the back end of the contract, and it's like, we don't want to pay a quarterback in their like 9th year $110 million per season. We'd be looking like some fucking idiots. I'll push it back on year 9. It's like $200 million for the quarterback for a cap. I hope they actually do that. I hope they like mismanage this so badly that one year they have to pay out to Mahomes like $200 million. And we're all just like, Jesus Christ. Why did they do that? That was like their entire cap for the season. But no, I think, let me look. That is something to think about. When the hell does the Mahomes hell contract kick in? Let me see. Spot track is always pretty solid. The light, it burns. This year is the 35, so you were right on that. Next year is 46. Oh, I forgot they structured it. Yeah. If they cut him right now, they would only be a dead cap hit of $130 million. No, next year is 46 million on the cap. It gets silly, like I said, toward the back, because they keep pushing money down, and then one year in 2027, it's $60 million. Look at this, dude. 60 million in 2027. Who do I think is the most overpaid quarterback? Probably Jared Goff. Goff got that big ass bag, and probably isn't worth all that money, which is exactly why they got rid of him in Los Angeles and shipped him to Detroit. Because Detroit was like, yeah, we got enough money. They're like, hey, Detroit, why are you never against the cap? We never have players good enough to give a bunch of contracts like that to. Like the Lions are just like, yeah, well, I mean, do you really need to ask? Is it like we've only paid Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson in the last 2 decades? What the fuck do you think? Like, all we got is cap money. We're on rookie contracts primarily at this facility. Random free agents that lost their passion for football but want a lot of money. Or maybe grew up in Michigan and we're just like, well, I like the Lions growing up. I'll play there. You know. It's always weird when NFL guys don't really talk about like what teams they liked growing up. Have you guys noticed that? I wonder if that's just like a thing you're not allowed. It's like considered like verboten to do that. If I was like a position player and I was roaming around trying to find a team, I'd be like, could I play for the Patriots or the Lions or down in Tampa with Brady? I don't want to play for anybody else. I don't like any of these other teams. Fuck them. Like, I wouldn't want to play for, like, if I got drafted to a team I wouldn't like, I'd have to deal with it. But I'd be making sly comments like, boy, I can't wait until I can get out of here and get the fuck out of Chicago. Just, little tiny comments that no one would really pick anything up on. I'd much rather just not play in the NFL than play for the Bears. No one will even notice that I don't like being there, Every day I wonder if I'll just retire. I don't know. Yeah, Brady always talks about how he grew up a giant 49ers fan, about how he hates the Cowboys. There are some hilarious quotes with Brady talk about teams he didn't like growing up and how he'll never play for team X, Y, or Z just because he didn't like them growing up. Oh, that's a good way to get him. Yeah, Dallas. Oh, yeah. Don't they have like a really good barbecue thing going on? Yeah, what about their football? Yeah, and they got that little football thing they do. Let's see. Sitting out until Dan Campbell said DeAndre Swift could miss time with his shoulder. Sitting out until after the bye weeks, till week 6 bye would mean DeAndre Swift misses 2 games against the Seahawks and Patriots. That's what I mean. The Lions could afford to sit a couple guys the next 2 games and be like, well, if we go 1-1 with our 2 best offensive weapons out, that's not that bad. So yeah, you can kind of see why they'd be able to, because they'll probably win this week. They play the Seahawks. They don't need Swift or St. Brown. They just got to play halfway decent football and just don't get caught. And then with the Patriots, that'll be a little harder for them. Because again, you have to wonder how Jared Goff's going to respond to the Patriots. The Patriots know how to deal with Jared Goff. That's going to be an interesting game. But we'll save all kind of analysis for that later on. Yeah, that was crazy. What's crazy is if you're if you run Porsche, do you try to get in touch with Myles Garrett and be like, would you like to do a commercial about how safe these cars are? Because I mean, look at your big ass and how you're barely hurt. If this isn't a ringing endorsement of our car, I don't know what else could possibly be. Because I don't know how he didn't get hurt worse. I think the smaller person was in the car was actually hurt to a greater extent than Myles Garrett was. Which I think is just a crazy thing to try to wrap your head around. Damn, Myles Garrett walked away with less scraps than someone smaller in a car designed to crash and wipe out. I mean, it's look at his big dumb ass. Xavier Rhodes, I did think signed with the Bills or the Colts. I don't remember which one. Damn. So regarding Kenny Golladay, apparently the Giants were willing to take on large chunks of his salary if teams were willing to just take him off their hands, and teams basically still win. Yeah, no, we're not really interested in any of that right now. It's like, well, if it's like Giants, if you agree to pay all of his contract, we'll take him. And the Giants are like, well, we're not going to do that. That's why we don't want him. With the Bills, a couple Bills streamers was like, man, without Rhodes, yeah, it's not that big a deal. They're just down really bad with this secondary situation right now. I guess any kind of help or depth, right? You know what I mean? Kind of depth or help move would improve what they got going on. Anyways, I was just reading some. If you want to, Mike, you can come on. I'm willing to. Again, there's not really, outside of the injuries, there's just not a lot of like news. There's Sterling Shepard tore his ACL. Minka Fitzpatrick is in concussion protocol. So that means it sounds like he might have to miss the game against the Jets. I didn't know that actually until just now. It's actually news to me. Oh, you're outside? For sure. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. I just figured I'd offer. Probably get through this first hour, then do another like a little bit after that. Let's see what else we got for news. The Bears, Brian Pringle is on IR. Myles Garrett suffered a shoulder sprain, bicep strain, in addition to lacerations in the hand in his one-car accident on Monday. So pretty solid. He could possibly play this weekend. If you're the Falcons, that's the last guy you want to see like able to go and play against you, because you know he's just gonna just maul and mow everybody down. It's like, oh, this kind of sucks. Ooh, players of the week. These are always fun to look at. Let's see. Trevor Lawrence. Hey, look at Trevor Lawrence winning player of the week. Maybe the first of many. Offensively, it's Cordarrelle Patterson for the Atlanta Falcons. Much deserved. Then it's Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals as defensive player of the week. Special teams player of the week was, how the fuck do you say his name? Too far away. Corliss Waitman. And then we have Brandon Graham from Philadelphia and Pat O'Donnell from Green Bay. You got the Bengals and Ravens winning? Yeah, that's fair enough. I think the Bengals are actually favored right now. Last I looked, they were still favored, but that could have flipped or changed by now. I also have the Ravens winning, though. I think the Bengals are favored to win, or they were, because nobody really knew what the actual status of Tua was heading into the game. So, I mean, Bengals probably wouldn't be favored if Tua was ready to play. But as long as Tua plays, I got the Dolphins. But no Tua, no W. I don't think their backup is that good at all. Let's see. Jameis Winston was not spotted at practice by those. Was not spotted at practice by those present in London. So that's not a good sign. It sounds like it's a hilarious trend on Twitter. Don't want that showing up on the screen. Not interested in this bitch either. There we go. Anyway, yeah, that's how what I figured out how to do. Anytime I see some shit I just don't want to see on Twitter, I just get rid of it. Eventually, it'll just be all sports, and I'll just be like, all right, this is good. This is really good. I just gotta do some hard work. It'll take a while, and they just throw up some bullshit, and I gotta see it and get rid of it. What do we got? Dak is not expected to practice quite yet. He got his he just got the stitches out of his thumb. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to play this week. Maybe next week with Dak. Rock Ya-Sin is not believed to have suffered a serious knee injury, so that's good for the Raiders. Just a strain. But his availability is not that good this week. They think Jameis should practice tomorrow. Michael Pierce suffered a biceps tear. Oof. He's probably out for the season. So the Ravens' Michael Pierce suffered a biceps tear. Like I said, this was the weekend injury. Let me tell you, it seems like all I've done this stream is go, this guy got hurt. This guy got hurt. This guy got hurt. Yeah, but then Ginger from Central Michigan stepped in and took his job. You know the episode of South Park? Dak's like fucking watching that episode of South Park over and over again. Took a job. I think the goal is to say it as many times as possible. That took your gerb, and then just like distort it in as hilarious a way as possible. But yeah, he was supposed to be out for a minute. But I'm guessing that that injury to the way that Cooper Rush has come out of the gate, just throwing, he's feeling a little bit of pressure. What's up, Daniel? Or he's just recovering quickly. I mean, some guys heal quick. I don't know. Apparently, Mac Jones is already like healing at a very rapid rate, to where a lot of people are starting to go, well, maybe he doesn't need any surgery. Yeah, Rush hasn't been playing bad. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'd be very happy with the way Rush has been playing. I don't really know what you'd be able to complain about right now. He's not, throwing for 1,000 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, but for a backup play, I'd be fucking stoked with that. You know what I mean? Well, how you guys doing though, Daniel? I get you guys like there's multiple people that operate the Daniel account. When I get the suit, I'm going in as Daniel today. But anyway, let's keep going. What else we got? Zach Wilson has been medically cleared and will start if there's no setback. So basically 100% that see, it sounds like Bill Belichick says Mac Jones has made a lot of progress in the last 24 to 48 hours. So it says they're taking. So basically Mac Jones has been ruled as day-to-day. They're not really certain as to how things are going to play out. So it sounds like he might be able to even start on Sunday. But with them announcing that Brian Hoyer is going to be the starter if Mac isn't able to go, it sounds like that's as clear and obvious as a statement from Belichick as you're going to get. Like, more than likely Hoyer starts. But if Mac can go, then that's how you should probably interpret that. It shouldn't be an interpretation of it should be kind of reversed, that Mac Jones will likely start, but Brian Hoyer's there if he can't. Like, I don't know, or I don't know how to word that. That's actually worded pretty good. That what Ian said. To just say, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, or Brady level. I mean, even Brady's somewhat mobile. Damn, I hate how this works. It just always plays shit. There we go. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. Let's see. I'm just reading a couple things. The lineman will play a meaningful role in the skills competition, but will not play flag football. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. What the hell are they supposed to do? Can you imagine flag football with offensive defensive linemen? That'd be the weirdest shit ever. It'd be like, can you guys not play? You're like useless dudes on the fucking 5-on-5. We don't need 2 linemen for each team. Again, just the logic behind the offensive lineman or defensive lineman as well at the flag football Pro Bowl game would be, it's just kind of hard to follow. How's the stream doing so far? Oh, not bad. Completely stalled out at 45. I think there's more than that then. It might not be more. But I don't know. How's everybody doing? Taking a small reading break. Again, it's mainly all just injuries. That's all we're dealing with. Bosa's out for a while. Well, we have some positive news. Roddy Stanley could be back pretty soon for the Ravens. That should bolster their run game for Lamar. Especially for a team like the Ravens who just lost their backup left tackle in the last game they played versus the Patriots. So they're kind of down to random linemen. But again, they seem to have pretty solid offensive line depth, which is pretty crucial when you have a running foot like a team like the Ravens do. Chiefs tried out kicker Michael Badgley and Matthew Wright. Our Arizona Cardinals hosted Chris Banjo. We already read a couple of those. Oh, he's only out for at least a month. Or out more than a month. So Bosa could be back pretty quickly here by November, mid-November. So that's good at least. It sounds like he's not out for the season. So that's good if you're a Chargers fan, I would imagine. A slight sigh of relief if you're listening going, oh boy, we're fucked all season. And now you're hearing finally that Bosa is not going to miss the whole season. Probably at least a month though. You probably won't see him for the next till mid-ish November, early November, something like that. Let's see what else we got. Guess the news ran dry on this site. Let's see. NFL says every indication its concussion protocol was followed with Tua. That's good. Hey, that's good. I'm glad to see the Dolphins were happy to comply with the search of Tua or the investigation. They found nothing was done wrong. It just seems like Tua must have avoided the concussion. Again, it's not crazy to think he just kind of whapped his head, got knocked out, and didn't get a concussion. It's it's unlikely to not get one, but it's not impossible. There's no general law that says you must get a concussion if you hit your head. You could I feel like you could accidentally bump your head and get a pretty gnarly concussion from it. And I feel like you could slam your head off of a pretty hard thing and nothing, you just kind of bleed from your head and it's damn, that sucked. And you don't get any concussion. Wait, the AJ show? Why'd they ban AJ? What did he do? Was he showing games or something? Was he wilding out? Talking craziness? Damn, they canceled him? Not a clue, but I heard he's gonna make a new channel. Well, that's not good. I was gonna say I haven't seen his streams in a couple days, so that would add up. I wonder if he showed game or something. That's super unfortunate. Unless he was out here just doing sus-ass behavior, like commenting racist-ass shit at people. Then it'd be like, well, I don't know. I guess things caught up with him. Tough break. I hope I never get my Twitter deleted. That shit would suck, dude. Or not Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. They can delete that if they want to. College game? Wonder what happened. You never know. Could have been over some live stream stuff he was doing in another channel, or... I think that's about it for all the news. I mean, I'm staying live for the next little while anyway. When we could talk about other news events, if you weren't here for the beginning of it, we can go back. Otherwise, it's just kind of like speculation and just kind of like fun talk about football for a little while. Again, 90% of the injuries this week kind of rely on we're not really sure how this Vikings Chiefs or the Saints or the Tampa and Chiefs game goes. Because, again, they're really not, we're not really sure how this hurricane is going to go. And then Zach Wilson should debut, which is really good. And then a bunch of people went on the IR this weekend. It was probably one of the worst weekends for not really IR necessarily, because I don't think Trent Williams or Mac went on IR. So... nor DeAndre Swift or Amon-Rah St. Brown. But I think that has more to do with the Lions can afford to sit him for a couple games. And then the bye week in 6, which is the worst week to get it. Unless you're dealing with an injured team, and then you can get some time off. Yeah, Judge tied the all-time regular season record for the American League anyway. Has a week left to break it. I'm sure he'll get a pitch to hit and break the record and be the all-time AL single season home run leader. That'll be pretty cool. I need to grab something to drink though if I'm gonna do the next hour of stream. I'll be right back. Gonna grab a soda. Be right back. Yo. I'm back. Yeah, he has a little bit left to do it. Most leagues don't consider your postseason numbers in your regular season numbers for the final season. For the final season tally of your numbers anyway. They're kept in separate statistic base, which I find stupid. I feel like those should count towards your regular season statistics. Seeing as well, I mean, they are. It's not like they're playing bad teams. They're only going up against the best teams in the league. But a lot of people don't really like to include playoff numbers, and I get the argument. It's probably a lot stronger than mine, which is basically just well, that's basically it. No, it's not strong. You're excited for Hocus Pocus 2 and the new Halloween Michael Myers Ends. Oh, I read that weird. The new Michael Myers Halloween Ends. I'm very tired, by the way. Usually I'm a little bit more high energy and able to speak clearly, but I went to bed very late last night, about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I had to wake up at like 7:30. Oh. Brutal day. I'm ready for bed in a little while, in like an hour. Essentially on my weekend. I have to do a bunch of work and blah, blah, blah. You got your booster? Well, that's good. Feel a bit tired? Yeah, I understand that. I'm just tired. I didn't get shit for sleep last night. I'm like, man, I can't focus that well today. And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't get any sleep. If Astros win tonight, they clinch the first round. Hey, there you go. Ooh. See what else we got from NFL.com. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so he's expected to come back Thursday, so that's good. Joe Judge says the offense should be normal this week. Yeah, we'll see. Heading to extras? Uh-oh. Sure, you're nervous. He's like, just win. Win, and you get the best first seed. Win. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other like news topics to talk about. But again, outside of the injuries, it's been kind of slowish. You know, kind of like some low stakes signings like Xavier Rhodes. We talked about the Myles Garrett thing quite a bit, so we got that out of the way. I'm just kind of like going over like an out loud talk list now. Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. You got a couple of days to get knocked out. You know, no big deal. No reason to worry, as some would say. Let's see. I'm just like going over each team right now. Just like, let's see. Any updates with these teams? We already covered them. I would imagine that Byron Jones for the Dolphins is probably due back pretty soon. So that'd be big. I don't think it's this week. I think it might be next week. Next week is going to be the return from injury week when a bunch of guys are activated because they're done with their 4-week IR stint. Yep, week coming up, right? This is the last week where a lot of guys are forced to sit out still. Then next week's the big return. Yeah, that's true. So it'll be week 5, okay. I think I have the Dolphins beating the Bengals. I should anyway. Yeah, most if you got a guy on IR and he's been out since the start of the season, he's probably due back next week. Heading into week 5, he'll be back. As long as he's recovered, he's ready to go. He might even be able to play. That's all. Kind of all, up in the air, By the way, thank you to everyone who's left a like. It's helped the stream out. Doing all right. What do we got? Like 50-something views? 55, 56? Not bad. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't unhide him. I fucked up. I fucked that up. Thank you, though. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't put Dak on IR. They haven't been able to make any roster moves because they didn't want to put Dak out for 4 straight weeks. Honestly, don't know. Haven't seen much of the Dolphins or Bengals. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on the Dolphins. They've been playing way better football. Oh yeah, I'd love for Cincinnati to win, but like the Dolphins right now are playing really good defense. Their offense has been cooking in when it needs to work. Like I don't know, it's hard to pick against them. Against the team that finally found their mojo, against a team that I don't really consider a team you should be able to gauge as, you know, your team is back, but they looked better, you know. It's the Jets. Whereas, like, with the Dolphins, they've beaten the Ravens, Patriots, and the Bills. Welcome back, Kenny. Which is a very, you know, a far more impressive start to a season than losing to the Cowboys, the other team they lost to, and or was that the Browns? Steelers. Yeah, and the Bengals have a shit offensive line, and Miami gets after the quarterback very well. That's a recipe. Like a recipe for disaster. Yeah, the coaching's been great, which is ironic to point out that the San Fran 49ers are suffering with play calling problems. You're a Romeo Doubs guy? Always have been? I know you've always told me you've been a big fan of Romeo Doubs. You said you had his name tattooed somewhere on you that you can't really tell me or something like that. No? Oh, all right. Well, that was somebody else then. That's my fault. No, you said you got your asshole tattooed with Doubs on it, with like the Doubs hole is what it says actually. Oh, my bad. That must have been somebody. That must be someone else. I got mixed up. Hey, did you see Clay Matthews finally retired? Officially, anyway. So that's cool. What is he in his probably what 3-4 year watch to the Hall of Fame now? He'll probably get in. It was hilarious that they had Clay Matthews and AJ Hawk at the exact same time, which is basically the same exact dude. Which I've always enjoyed that about the Packers, was I thought it was hilarious that they had AJ Hawk and then they added in Clay Matthews or vice versa. I don't know which one's a little older. Because again, to me, they're the exact same human being, which is really funny. This guy. Almost a spitting image. Some of them things where it's like, damn, if you didn't know that, you'd think that was AJ Hawk. See what else we got. AJ's older? Okay. Yeah, I knew one of them was slightly older than the other by a couple seasons. Oh, they weren't they? One was at Ohio State and the other one was a legend at USC. I believe they were both absolute animals. Even in the NFL, they were fucking monsters. Supremely athletic, fucking monster hitters. Really smart football players. I mean, they're the same dude. I don't know. I didn't watch enough Packers. I don't know which one was better, but you know, it's probably a take your pick thing. They'd probably go with they'd probably say Clay Matthews because I think he never left the Packers to go play with the Bengals. Unless he did, then it's like, well, I don't know which one they'd pick then. Because again, I believe AJ eventually did dip out of the Packers and go play with the Bengals for a couple seasons there. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think most Packers do view Clay as a better player because of that. And because I think Clay might actually be a little bit better of a football player. He's one of them guys that are like a borderline Hall of Famer right now. He could get in. But again, if he doesn't get in, it's not like that crazy. We're toward the bottom of this news too. He's frustrated and angry. Next thing you'll know, the dude's gonna be hangry. You got the new Clay, is Rashawn Gary. Well, I mean, they play different positions, so I don't know. I don't think he's the new Clay. He's just, he just does that job, a DT or whatever. I don't really know what role you guys have, Gary, and what's he play? DN, D tackle? I don't really care. What else can we talk about? It's always fun when outside of the teams that are clearly kind of playing above their water, like the Giants. What team do you think comes crashing back down to earth pretty soon? My guess is the Jaguars. I guess they don't really count because they're not supposed to be good. Or like, it's like, well, yeah, they'll probably come back. Like, I guess it could be a bad team. My guess would be the Jaguars. Oh yeah, it says he's frustrated and angry. He's both things. Yeah, I would imagine Adams isn't very happy with his decision right now. Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if anyone likes the Cowboys, they're probably fucking hoping the Eagles fall apart. Like, come on. It's gotta be but yeah, I don't see the Eagles sustaining this. It seems like they're playing at a very high level right now, at a very high octane as well. Seems like a recipe for a crash and burn, but you never know. So I was just reading some. I've been getting distracted by stuff. I get pretty bad like ADD shit when I get this fucking tired. Yeah, it's been kind of a shit show, especially with like the Broncos kind of starting off slow, kind of not matching right on offense right away. The Chiefs look pretty solid. They're 2-1. The Raiders haven't won a game, and the Chargers can't win games because they're too injured. Seems like a pretty typical AFC West season. Everybody was highly overrated, and only really one team wound up being good out the whole thing. Pretty typical AFC West result. Mike's the Eagles on the train. You're okay. All aboard, dude. Oh. Fuck, man. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm doing the Patriots and Packers. Yep. Yes, sir. Be live for that Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. More than likely, I'm doing a bunch of games on Sunday. Sunday probably will be an all-day stream. I haven't decided if I just want to do one big-ass VOD for that or break it down into 3 VODs. I don't know yet. More than likely, we'll just do 3 VODs. It's way easier. But man, a fucking big-ass, like, not 8-9 hour stream, that'd be kind of cool looking visually. It could be even 10 hours. Yeah, for your Packers, I know. We're about to make Aaron Rodgers look like a bad quarterback. I don't even see it as a close game, really. I see you guys getting beat by 30, 40 points. No. You got it wrong, Kenny. Your quarterback is going down. No one's afraid of Patricia Rogers. All right. One time I was walking by him in the mall and I went like this. Hold on, I'll show you what I did. I went and he jumped backwards and he expelled shit and piss from all of his orifices at one time. What's up, Ben? What a weird way for you to come in. No, I'm not gonna wake up at 9:30 and call a football game. You wanna know how fucking bitchy and grouchy I would sound doing a game like that? Every small thing, somebody's like, "Hey Rob, did you hear about this thing slightly unrelated? Will you shut the fuck up?" I can only imagine what me streaming at 9 before 10 a.m. would sound like. Me just cranky and irritable at 9:30, 10 a.m. smoking mad cigs. I'm just like standing over by the window yelling into the mic. Oh, that's a good play. Like, hey, he's not very fun early. What is this? Isn't this the same person I know? But yeah, this week, Van, I'm calling it the injury bug week. That's why I have this titled the way I do. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the morning, but I'd prefer to play video games and shit. I don't have a lot of good mornings. Especially Sunday morning. I really like to play video. I really like to want to use that time to game. Get my little bit of me time in. Yeah, like if you really stop and think about it, it's a significant number of players are hurt right now. Trent Williams, Mac Jones, both have high ankle sprains, varying degree for either. I think Trent Williams is literally like a game time decision on his, and Mac is week to week, day to day. Rashawn Slater's out for the season. Joey Bosa's out for a significant amount of time. J.C. Jackson's kind of dealing with some more ankle-ish injuries. Yeah, I think Christian McCaffrey didn't practice. Jameis Winston didn't practice. Swift and Amon-Rah St. Brown for the Lions are probably missing this week and next week to give them both 3 games off, or like 3 weeks off in a row. Herbert's dealing with his injury still. Let's see what else we got. There's a lot. I mean, I'm sure there's more that I'm missing, but those feel like the biggest ones. Did I get Rashawn Slater's also out? Yeah, him as well. And by the way, if everyone remembers, back in early August, mid-August, what's up, Intangible? I told everybody. I looked around. We were having a stream like this. It was, I believe, one of the first NFL Weekly News streams. And I remember I was sitting around saying, Sleeper and ESPN notifications were like, this player healthy to questionable. Yeah, there's a lot this week. It's pretty crazy. And I told everybody to watch out for the Chargers. And my hot take for the year was I don't think the Chargers are going to be a playoff team because they don't stay healthy, number one. So you can't even use the excuse against me and say, well, man, nobody would have predicted they got this injured. Well, I did. And I never predict injuries, by the way. I think that's a crude thing to do. But, I mean, the Chargers are cursed. First and foremost, they kept the doctor that stabbed Tyrod Taylor in the lung and popped it basically on accident, trying to give him a painkiller in his back or something. Just misfired and stabbed that bitch right in there and pressed down. He's still just the team doctor. So it's like, yeah, okay, the Chargers are genuinely just not a serious team. So I'm not taking them seriously. That's just a fun house where they spend a lot of money to try to compete with their cooler older brother, the Rams, who actually wins things. I can't believe he's still the team doctor. It's like, yeah, you guys, he's like a sabotage, right? That man is a doctor straight from the San Diego area sent to fucking get his revenge for taking their football team. That's what he is. He's a trained killer. Nobody expected, I mean, almost everyone did, but like, I guess they like weren't that connected about the backup quarterback situation for the Chargers, though. And they're like, oh, damn it, we made it worse. Now they got a better quarterback. We should have never fucking got that guy. He's bad luck. And they kept him, and the Chargers have just been shitty ever since. I don't know. You'd think that there'd be... It seems like it's really hard to get fired from certain jobs in the NFL. Like, if you're a bad health and... Like, if you get a bunch of guys injured that are your players, and you're like the team doctor, seems like they give you a raise. They're like, thank you for hurting him. We fucking hate that guy. Next time you see him, can you hit him in the leg with his lead pipe? We're trying to bash his ACL in. The old Chargers doctor stay forever on the team and did a lot of it. Yeah, he was terrible. Yeah, I know it does. The AFC West looks awful. AFC East, until Mac Jones got hurt, was looking like it was going to be a monstrous division to have to deal with. And then Mac Jones got what I can only describe as probably... I was trying to think of all the bad injuries that have happened in league history. Mac Jones is probably the worst ankle injury in sports history. The worst ankle injury, anyway. The worst injury in sports history was when Brady had his knee basically shotgunned out by a madman, and then he recovered in record time. He basically grew a whole new lower leg, then chopped his old one off and gave it to a small boy. That boy, Blade Runner who shot and killed his girlfriend in the bathroom that one time. That's who he gave his fake leg to, or his new leg to. Or the old leg that he had a saw. I don't know what I'm saying. But Max was the second worst. I still haven't rewatched the play. I refuse to do so. It was disturbing. The way Mac gets up in his pure adrenaline. He's able to hop off the field despite his hip being twisted around 400 degrees. See, when you see Mac running like that, his legs actually wound up and spun the wrong way. Basically, his asshole was where his dick should be, and part of his dick, his right cheek should be... Basically, right ass cheek was where his dick was, and where his dick was... I said the same image twice. See, I can't think straight. I'm losing the plot on the images I'm trying to make. Oh, Jimmy G, he's good. He's I don't know what's up. Trey Lance had bad surgery. He's out for a minute. I don't think he's coming back this year. So it'll be Jimmy G all year for the most part for the Niners. But I mean, they kind of made their bed, so they get to lie in it. Me personally, I wouldn't have kept Jimmy G. I've always been pro get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. You can't prove otherwise. So, and if you like, oh Rob, you've always said, do you know what trolling is? I don't know, Rob. You've been pretty passionate about them keeping Jimmy G. You've yelled at people about this. He had a slightly good game last week against Seattle, and you stuck your arms out to the side and went, told y'all. Like you were a goddamn Jets fan, and you had a fluke win and started yelling about receipts. You notice there was no Gary Vee video. No Robert Salah corny-ass press conference about keeping notes of the people who take shots on his team. Why didn't they do that this week? I'd find it, unironically, a way stronger way to operate if they came out and did that shit again. For no reason. They just, like Gary Vee just went live and started screaming about how he's going to have receipts. And Salah's like, oh, did you guys see that? We lose fucking crazy. Yeah, well, I mean, eventually the Broncos have to get it going, right? Not like they're untalented. It's just they're like there's like no chemistry at this point. I think of all the bad teams right now, the team I have the most faith in, I guess, would be the Broncos. Oh, they're 2-1 though. And their defense looks really good too. That's clearly going to be like their number one strength for the majority of this season, I would have to imagine. Oh, man. Tonight's going to be a good night. I'm going to sleep like a vampire just... Yeah, that's kind of, I think, how a lot of people felt about the Broncos going into this. They're like, man, their offense is going to be good, but their defense is quite questionable. It's like, nah, maybe. I think we all got it wrong. Yeah, how everyone thought their defense was going to come out and be their number one thing, and it's clearly that they should have been working on their offense. It's like, man, you guys are a confusing football team. What even are you? Oh, no. Coolio passed away. The Legion of Zoom. Who's the Legion of Zoom? Yeah. Damn. Created one of the most classic songs in, yeah, the Gangster's Paradise rapper. Yeah. You know that whole thing? He lived to what? It says 60? That's pretty good. For a guy who probably lived pretty goddamn fast and hard. Mostert, Hill, and Waddle. Oh, is that what you Dolphins fans are calling your receivers? Is the Legion of Zoom? Ugh, come up with a better nickname. There's already been legions of stuff. What about the Zoom Squad? You know how there's like boom squads? Zoom Squad sounds kind of gay. Don't call it that. Dude, that's Dorsey freaking out is one of my favorite things ever because it's a weird understanding of, boy, without Diggs, that team sure does look lost. Yeah, but it just seems lazy, you know what I mean? Why's everything got to be a Legion and somehow related back to the Legion of Boom? Like everything just relates back to the Legion of Boom. They even rhyme the words that relate. It's like, why not just something new for these three mid receivers? Oh, to see the Bills lose like that and then them throw a temper tantrum? Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair to Josh Allen, apparently somebody grabbed his dick. At first, I didn't know the context as to why Josh Allen was grabbing a man's helmet and slamming his head off the ground repeatedly. And I was like, why aren't they flagging that? And then I found out what they did. They got in quite a big. Josh got in actually quite a big trouble for that. And then I found out Allen came out and was like, "Yeah, somebody was grabbing on my dick." And I'm pretty sure someone on the opposing team came out and has since apologized, and he didn't think he was actually grabbing the dick. Or he said that it's just shit happens out there in the pile, basically. And there's no hard feelings. I think it was the second one, I'm pretty sure. I don't think the guy was mad at Allen for smacking his head around. He's like, yeah, I grabbed his dick and he fucking he beat the shit out of me. Fair enough. Oh, it's weird. I 100% believe the guys who say weird fucking shit happens in that pile. Legion of Doom. I think that's what it was actually named on, the Seahawks Legion of Boom. Like, I actually do believe that's what they named it after. The Seahawks players. On that crazy ass fucking defense that they crafted. You know, do you guys remember when Pete Carroll seemed like he was going to be an unstoppable head coach in this league? They're like, he's the one to rival Belichick. And he's like just like this 68-year-old near geriatric who's like, I got all these fast guys on Adderall. And then they took him. Then half the team had to get off Adderall, and they weren't really good anymore following that. I still wonder if the Adderall had more to do with them winning that Super Bowl than anything else. But hey, you know, some teams are allowed to cheat, some teams aren't. Oh, he's the best. Yeah, he's their best receiver. All I have to say is, could you imagine if more than one player on the Patriots was to get suspended for taking Adderall? We'd be investigated as Adderall dealers. I can't even think about how much trouble we'd get in if as many players got busted for fucking Adderall as what happened with Seattle. You remember when Vince McMahon what's up, Jose? Remember when Vince McMahon real life had to go sit in front of like Congress or get deposed about being a steroid dealer? That shit would happen to Bill Belichick, but it would be about being an Adderall dealer. They'd be fucking this man left and right. It'd be brutal. I don't even think people would realize what would happen to the Patriots if we did this. Yeah, I thought that the Seahawks were hyped up to an extreme in that time. Well, and Pete's not even a bad coach. He's been dealt an unfortunate inability to build an offensive line worth the motherfucker. It literally made Russell Wilson leave a team he never wanted to leave. That's how bad that offensive line was. Either they did that shit on purpose, like I halfway think the Patriots did to get Brady to go away. He does get a bit too conservative at times. Well, I mean, wouldn't you, if you had the PTSD that he had, wouldn't you be conservative with the football? Shit. Nah, I think we should run it. Why? He did the bombings start in the background and shit, and he's just imagining. Oh, why do we suffer? He's just like having those thoughts roll in his head. Like, is Pete all right? Nah, he's having a flat. He's having some problems. Yeah, the Super Bowl play. That probably turned him in. That fucked him. Dude, that probably ruined a lot of, like, I don't know. Like, the Patriots went through that last dynasty and ruined 3 different teams. Distinctly fucked them up so bad they changed almost every fundamental aspect of the team. We beat the Rams so badly, they went and fucking gave up multiple first-round picks to the Lions to get Matthew Stafford. which is obviously a step up, but it's also like, man, they gave up a fortune for a guy who can maybe play 2 more years because he gets hurt all the time. Yeah, literally the worst one. Probably, yeah. And again, I would get what would have made him turn into a more conservative coach, because, you know, ultimately he could have called a audible on that play. So could Russell. Yep, try and get the Patriots, because the Patriots, for whatever reason, were sitting on a pass. And you know what's even creepier? They had been practicing that kind of situation all week. Like, they knew that, like, if the Seahawks line up in a very specific formation and do a very specific set of things, look out for the pass. And I guess Butler remembered, and they got the fucking pick. Here's a fun statistic about Derrick Henry. Did you know that it was either in the playoffs or throughout the regular season and playoffs, he was 1 for 5 trying to score by the goal line? I think inside the 5 or whatever, inside the 3. He's literally had one of the worst, like, I don't think he scored at all. There's something like, yeah, if you look this up with Marshawn Lynch, it's something like at the 1 or at the 2 or at the 3 or something from that distance. The dude could not score from like a very like close spot. He gets stuffed at the goal line all season. Or at least that playoff run, he'd been getting like kind of stuffed up and stopped. And then you're going up against the New England Patriots, one of the teams that actually play goal line defense. Like, that's a part of their game plan. So there's a couple things working against the Seahawks there in terms of, like, all right, well, what should we actually do here? Again, play action is probably the move there. Yeah, probably. They should have ran play action. That would have been 100% smarter. But that I've always actually kind of said. The throw wasn't the bad idea. It was just the Patriots, for whatever fucking reason, were sitting on a pass. And they were fooled 0-zip. They went, oh, they're passing here. It's almost like like the only Super Bowl we're not accused of cheating, but it's like, well, if you go watch that play, it clearly, we know they're throwing it. There is 0 players that bite on any kind of indication of them even thinking about running the ball. I don't think they paid attention to Marshawn Lynch because he can't catch the ball. It's hilarious. Sure, he has better hands than most people, but he has some pretty bad NFL hands. But then again, I've seen a lot of my friends can one hand catch the ball, and I don't know if Marshawn can. Yeah, it's one of them things when you actually start to peel off the layers into that. Because, I mean, like, didn't they have it 1st and goal at the 5? Or like the 4? What happened on 1st down that put them a yard forward? What does that tell you? Like, you got to think about, like, where was that 1st down play? Because it was 2nd down when they threw the pick. 1st down went nowhere, giving the ball to Lynch. What, run the same play again, get stuffed again, and then the game runs out of clock? Or you have to fucking spike it, and then hopefully you get one more play in against a team that is notoriously difficult to score on on their side of the field. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more than just like, oh, he made a bad call. Like, yeah, it was a bad call, but it almost wasn't. It would have been one of those plays where it was like, look at this fucking beautiful call on offense. It was a good call against a lesser team and a lesser coached team. That's a touchdown 100% of the time. Literally, that's a wide open touchdown in the NFL. But for no good reason, then maybe Butler was playing out of position. Maybe he misread the play and just assumed they were throwing it and he got lucky. But to this day, I still believe somehow the Patriots just maybe they stole the signs. I don't care about any of that. They executed. I'm just sitting here condoning cheating. Like, you know, as long as you win, I like cheating. If you cheat and then you lose and go out sad, I mean, that's going out real bad, right? I can't imagine a worse way to go. That's true. Oh man, like barely staying awake. Time is it? Oh shit! It's 11:45. Wow, hour 45 stream. What other shit we got to talk about? Yeah, you guys had a crazy win versus the Bucks, 14-12, real barn burner. I'm glad I covered that great affair. The receiver's stomach. Yeah, that's true. To be fair, though, there's a lot of drops by Broncos receivers on really good thrown balls by Russell Wilson. He's trying to figure out how they can get DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett up over in Denver ASAP. Yeah, I don't know how much truth there is to the Jumbotron. That just feels like Rodgers making something up to see if that feels like, I don't know. It feels like Rodgers just trying to see how far he can play with the media on something stupid that doesn't actually, like, what are you because the vagueness of the whole thing just makes me really doubt it. Like what they like show the fucking plays or something? When do the Giants switch QBs? Probably like around week 5, week 6. Yeah, you guys probably will get an easy win there, Ben. If you were playing the Zapmeister, it would be an automatic loss for you guys. But you guys get spared with Axel Hoyer, which is Brian Hoyer's real legal first name is Axel. And you know why he goes by Brian? Because he looked one day and went, I don't have the ability to be called Axel. I'm not cool enough. Oh, yeah, you didn't know this? Hold on. Axel Brian. Yeah, his name is technically, what is his full fucking name? Axel Edward Brian Hoyer. Yep. Yeah, he's got a top 10 name. He's got a name. What's up, Nicholas? How's it going, buddy? Usually I go by a rule that guys can only have cool ass names like Axel or LeBron. Like they're only going to be great. He was supposed to be great, but something went wrong. So he switched his name up over to Brian. Yeah, but he was born in the 80s, so he's kind of absolved from the fuckboyitis of being called Axel, right? I'm going to go grab a piece of chocolate real quick. Good, your aunt and uncle came down to Miami to stay with us because of the hurricane. Oh, sorry to hear. Yeah, I was gonna say, Nicholas, I think you're one of the few people that I know that live in Florida. How are you guys hanging in? I know you. I know the whole state's just getting smacked up by weather. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Not even that long. You know. Whenever I'm sad, I live in the north. I'm just very happy that I live in the Midwest too, because I don't have to deal with anything except some snow. I would hate to see 1 minute the ocean get sucked up by a straw. I don't know where the fuck the ocean went. Look around and be like, oh no, I know what comes next, and have to get to high ground because the ocean's then going to vomit itself back out from nowhere. I don't know where the fuck the water goes. It just keeps going out, I guess. And then all of it, all at the same time, returns and just blasts the shit out of it. That's called a storm surge, I believe. And those are hilariously brutal and cause all kinds of fucked up shit to happen because I would imagine that's going to be a main source of death. There's a bunch of these idiots running around out there in this weather, probably on like ground like that they for some reason forget that was like covered up by the ocean 2 days ago, and they're just going to get sucked back like out in the ocean or like, you know, buried by the water. And yeesh. We didn't get it bad, but we just got rain. Yeah, I seen Fort Myers got it's like it's just underwater. It's like, holy moly. Well, hey, this is what you get, Florida. Now you're gonna calm down? No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully no one does. Hopefully there isn't. Hopefully this isn't Katrina too. I don't think it's. Oh Jesus, it's bad. That's not real. That ain't real. I mean, it could be. What do you guys think the odds of that thing being real are? There's a dude in the car in the middle of the storm. Yeah, those people are all crazy. I'd have left. I'd have been like, well, I'm leaving Florida for a few days. See ya. Yeah, New Orleans and Houston just seem to get their ass beat whenever it fucking rains. Whenever an ocean storm comes. It's a good thing, maybe it's African voodoo that's getting us. I don't know. I don't know what's, it's interesting if you actually track the life storm of hurricanes, because it looks like Africa is just sending massive amounts of weather balls at the United States that turn into these massive storms. It's like, well, that's an interesting battle plan. Africa as a continent. You're just going to keep whipping up these crazy ass storms and that they turn into fucking Cat 5 hurricanes. I believe they start off the, what is this? Never soggy. Well, the west coast of Africa and just kind of fucking swirl their way across to the Americas. Usually, anyway, I believe, anyway, you know. What time is it? Oh, I just asked. We'll probably go around 2 hours tonight and then start to wrap. Just because, again, I'm pretty fucking exhausted, guys. I'm enjoying the stream, though. I appreciate everyone coming by. I appreciate the likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you very kindly. Appreciate the chat, too. It's been a good one. Again, if I get distracted, we'll just keep going as long as I'm distracted. But again, I'm half seeing double on a few things. I'm getting pretty tired. Oh, it's going to be such a good night of sleep. Sometimes there are African clouds and rain sands in the United States. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of storms come from over there, especially like the hurricanes come from over there and whip their way across. Ooh, man. I don't know. I'm just running out of things to talk about. I do apologize, guys. Everyone is safe. I'm glad to hear, at least, Nicholas. I'm glad to hear. They're saying the Bucks might be able to play at Raymond James Stadium because their contingency plan has been made to play in Minnesota just in case. Holy shit. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that's here, we'll play that in a sec. Okay, I got everything muted. I'm just checking a few things first. Okay. Jeez, that's 6 foot. The camera is 6 foot off the ground. Damn. Imagine looking out your window and this is what you see. You're just like, ah. Ah. There we go. I pushed the water off us. Oh, it's repeating now. I was going to start punching the water away. I'm not afraid of that shit. This is what the street usually looks like. Same angle. You can kind of make it out. Take a look at this one. See, there's the building right there. And then you go and check out this. You see the building right there. You see the trees. You can kind of make things out. Especially like right at the beginning, like right here. Like you can see the building with the flag on the thing. Check Discord. What's going on with Discord? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's stupid. I make politics out of a natural disaster. Look at me. I'm political. And no one gives a shit, fat boy. Hopefully you die. In a video game, anyway. In a video game. Focus should just be making sure that people in Florida are alright once this weather subsides. So that way Kanye West can't go on TV and claim that George Bush still doesn't care about what. See, you know how funny that would be? If George Bush or if Kanye West went on TV right after all this ended and said George Bush still doesn't care about black people. That instantly make Kanye a beloved figure again, by the way. It confused so many people. They'd be like, what? A manatee? Yeah. Some call that, it was actually Kyle, someone's wife. Doing her, you know, city girl shit or whatever. I don't know how many of these animal videos I can believe. I want to believe that they're all real and that the state of Florida is being taken over by Florida by sea animals. Yeah, exactly, Ben. Biden's been nothing but helpful for their state during this like hard time. Just sending fucking basically blank checks for Florida if they need it. All right, guys. I think that's about it. Again, I'm kind of brain dead right now. I don't really have a lot to talk about. You haven't had a hurricane in like 5 years. Was Charlie the last one? Or was that just the last really bad one that hit Florida was Charlie? I feel like what was that, 90 or in the 2000s when Charlie hit? Because I almost remember Charlie. All right, though. Anyone have any final thoughts or anything they want to add in for this news stream? Look at the final numbers, see how the stream wound up doing. Yeah, Charlie was a bad one. So was Katrina. We get some bad fucking breaks in this country. You know, the Afghani people could learn something about the resolve of the American to live in this very difficult country. Hey, we got 19 likes. I appreciate that. Sometimes in our tropical island country, we have to deal with big waves. It's very annoying. All right, everybody. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm I feel weird. Very tired. You know, in that state where you like move, or if you move around or like do too like aggressive a moment, you like feel like weird and like fuzzy in the head. It's time to go to bed. So, thank you guys for a fun stream this night. Tonight. Yeah, like that tired where like if you like do something a little too aggressive, you're fucking just like, whoo, I fucking feel fucked up. Like, oh, that must mean I'm too tired. I must be sleep deprived. I'm probably gonna have to start doing micro pass outs. Yeah, I'm out of here. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for a fun stream tonight. Thank you for all the likes. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. It was very, very fun. Hopefully everyone stays safe out there. If you're in Florida, if you're in any part of the country where it's kind of shitty weather, if you're in my part of the fucking country, stay warm. It's only 48 degrees right now. I have to go to bed in. That's why you see me having the winter gear busted out. Yeah, fun stream, guys. I appreciate it. We'll be live tomorrow night for the Bengals and the Dolphins game, as always. Thursday night football, we like to cover those as much as possible. So, you know, that's that. Yeah, it's cold, Kenny. I agree. I hate it. But I'm sure you don't mind because you got football stuff. It makes it a little bit easier. When it gets into like the 40s and 50s and stuff. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. That's basically the last week of news. Just a ton of injuries, and next week's going to be fun because it's kind of the opposite. We get a bunch of guys back from the IR. So, you know, next week we're hopefully in a much more positive place with a lot more returns from the injury rather than players out for the season or out for an extended time. All right. Have a good one. That's NFL Weekly News.